Чувате ли ни? Вече ни виждате. Hello. Hi. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. I'm happy to see that there are, again, almost no seats available. So, thank you for being here with us. Welcome to the 6th episode of the Pitch2Pitch Scale Up This Time competition. My name is Elena Peneva, and I'm a module master at Bright Module, consulting IT companies for the past decade on how they should communicate better and have better branding.
Yeah, I'm not important right now because Elena is an incubator right now.
As well, yes.
Yeah, she's working on her startup in her belly, so big applause for her.
It's a scale-up, actually.
Scale-up, oh, great,
Yeah.
great. Big applause, guys. She's pregnant. So my name is Atanas Nechev, I'm a tech advisor. I'm hosting right now here with you. I'm organizing events around the world. I'm kind of an agent for startups and talents around the world as well. So I like to invite you to be here with us at the Pitch2Pitch Scale-Up competition. And as every time tonight, we are upgrading again and again on our big stage, and it's a tradition for our audience to be part of the competition. And tonight you can vote as well and win an award.
You can actually vote on P2P.
On
ahaslides.com/P2P vote. Is it on the screen? Yes.
Yeah.
No?
Kind of. Okay, so ahaslides.
Okay, we'll say
cheers,
it again.
Guys, cheers. Third row, cheers. Okay, so.
I think that we should say it again though. ahaslides.com, then /P2P vote. And don't go out of the link as usual. I don't know, how many people have voted before? Can you, okay. Most of you haven't. Okay, so.
Yeah, for the elections for the startups.
So I'm not counting the jury. So please stay on the link. This is very important from the beginning. Go on the link and stay on the link until the very end, because you can win a very good award.
And the award is one of you can win 1 week pass for all networking premium locations. Big applause for our host for tonight. Networking premium.
Okay, now it's time, of course, to invite on stage our jury. So please welcome Victor Manev from Impetus Capital.
Woo! Borislav Borislavov, former CEO at DSK Ventures and Bulgarian Angel Association.
Jordan Zarev from New Vision 3 NV3 Fund.
Stoyan Nedin and Kamen Bankovsky from Vitusha Venture Partners.
And Christian Begajev, Senior Analyst at Capital Investment Fund.
Amazing jury.
Before we introduce you to our startups, let me explain again how you can participate in the voting. Are you already on the link? Everything working? Yes? Yes, okay. So you can actually grade not only the favorite startup, but also several different things about each startup. So be fair and also stay on the link and join the jury and win an award maybe, I don't know.
If you want.
Also, it's a pleasure for me to say that my microphone is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. So, tonight we are not streaming live, but thanks to Omai.TV, our partner, we will actually have what is happening here recorded, and you can watch it on the social media of Networking Premium.
So big applause for Omai.TV and follow them on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen.
And last but not least, we have a sponsor on tonight's event. It's a Health in a Box, aka Micro Markets.
Big applause for them as well. And now I think it's time for our first scale-up.
Yes.
And they will join us at Zoom. It is Mark Schillinger, Panayotis Dermidjan, and Nona Dramova from Payzzter. Hello. Payzzter. Payzzter. Okay, welcome.
All right, guys. Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm CEO and co-founder of two bootstrap companies, eCollect and Payzzter. eCollect is Europe's only outsourcing invoice-to-cash platform. With a fully digital approach, we cover the entire invoicing, dunning, and debt collection process in more than 50 countries on one platform for corporations and companies. However, our client pain point were the complicated payment system and payment providers across countries within the invoice-to-cash process. And this was the starting point for the foundation of Payzzter. We created Payzzter to streamline international payments on one infrastructure payment platform. The unified platform provides companies with access to over 200 payment methods worldwide, including cryptocurrencies. Payzzter's sole USP is its user-friendly API integration that allows for seamless integration of for all payment providers all over the world, all manageable from a single dashboard and available in 12 languages in more than 50 countries. By offering invoice-to-cash and payment solution on one platform, we are finally closing the gap clients demand for. This international solution offers a tremendous competitive advantage for investors and clients. So be invited to join an 8 million revenue business this year. Thank you very much for hearing me.
Can you describe to us your most typical customer and what's your target audience? Your target market.
What is the target market? All right. The target market for us is like Europe, but we are facing international corporations. So corporations which have a headquarter, for example, in Bulgaria or in Germany and Switzerland and have 20, 30 operations across the world. Because they all do invoicing, dunning and collection, plus the payment internationally. And this is what we harmonize on one platform for the invoicing process, for the collection process, and also for the payment process. A typical customer for us is, as I just mentioned, large international corporations with more than 10, 20, 30 operating entities across the world.
Okay, first,
So
thanks for the presentation.
For example, we have the largest car rental company on our platform serving more than 45 countries in the invoice to cash process, but also in the payment process.
Okay, thanks for the presentation. I don't know if you can hear me, but probably if you don't hear me, someone will write down the question in the chat. Right, okay. Okay, can you describe why will those typical clients be using your specific service as opposed to other services that exist on the market? What's your uniqueness about your product? And what's the benefit that a customer will get from using your product? Is it, let's say, a increase in collecting invoices, or reducing their cost base of some sort? Like, what's the angle that you're presenting to customers?
So describe why the client is your service. Okay, so the unique value proposition is that the client can fully outsource the whole invoice to cash management process to eCollect, including the payment with Payzzter. So this gives him a tremendous advantage that he's not operating the service in each country individual by each different countries and people, but he can fully outsource the process to one company, namely eCollect and Payzzter. And we fully operate as an outsourcing company the whole process of invoice to cash plus payment for the international corporation. And this truly is a unique value proposition.
Is this a sort of a factoring cooperation? Is it a factoring business?
Look, we are not offering factoring yet, but this will be the next step in enlarged value proposition into the client. So currently we are only doing this as a servicing partner. So we take only the invoice and process and manage the invoice. And the next step with an investor will be that we also offer factoring of B2C, but also B2B claims. So this will be the next value chain and also the enlargement of the value chain into the client. Until today, we are not offering the factoring business yet, but I would say within the next 12 to 18 months, this will be definitely a target market we are also approaching.
What is the business model? Is it a subscription based on a volume?
What is the business model? So the business model is clearly B2B, B2C. So we are addressing on one side clients, which are B2B clients, and we are communicating and offering the service to B2C clients. And it's not a SaaS model, it's a completely business process outsourcing business model. So we are really taking over the full process of invoice to cash and payment for large corporations. Therefore, the revenue generator is recurring revenues like SaaS, but it's not SaaS, it's business process outsourcing. And the revenue generator is per email, per done-in case, per payment, and this on an international range. So we are offering subscription models for smaller companies. For large company, we are not yet offering subscription models because we are paying by invoice, or we are billing by invoice, which is much more attractive for Payzzter and also for Ecollect than offering subscription models.
So the question was, how much money are you making at the moment in terms of revenues?
With the current traction, you mean the revenues or client side, or in what operating countries
and clients as well?
Revenues is roughly, we are planning this year, both companies together, we have a budget, we have a revenue planning for 8 million. The 8 million come across different countries, and clients, we have roughly 200 clients currently on the platform. But as always, you know, the top 10 clients make up 80% of the revenues. The top 10 clients we have already on the platform are large international corporations you probably are all aware of.
Thank you for the presentation. Can you share with us some about your marketing and sales approach? How do you reach customers?
Yeah, sure. The marketing and sales approach is that we target large corporation in different jurisdictions. So this means that we started out of Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. We are now opening sales reps in Italy, Spain, France. We have already opened a sales rep in Eastern Europe, in Sofia. And so this is now the marketing and the sales approach. So we will open sales representative in each of these countries because we can address all these different type of countries and the cooperation in these countries, you know, because they all operate in these countries, but then in other countries as well. So for us, the marketing approach is clearly to increase the brand name of Ecollect and Payzzter, and then also to increase it with large corporations who have different operating models in different countries.
Yeah, the question is about the team.
So currently we are 70 people. We are operating the companies out of 3 locations, Switzerland, Germany, where I'm currently at, and Bulgaria, Sofia. We have spread the team that roughly 50 people are currently in the location of Sofia, where we do all the tech operation and part of the back office operation. In Germany, we have 20 people doing the operating business, namely speaking 12 languages to do, you know, answering the phone and chasing the debts. And then in Switzerland, we have all the management functions. The expansion plan also for the team is that we are currently looking in different countries also to start other operating countries. So we have just looked into Romania, Greece, and Turkey to expand not only the sales and marketing approach, but also to expand the back office and the operating team approach there.
And a question about financing. Do you need financing? How much money do you need if you need to expand?
Currently, both companies, Ecollect and Payzzter, are fully bootstrap companies, you know, and we have now decided to even accelerate the growth. We want to have 2 million on financing money to expand faster. Expansion means, in our case, that we need to build up the tech team and the operating team in Sofia, that we also want to expand more into different other European countries, like I just mentioned, Spain, France, Italy, and open up sales representatives there to get clients. And the third part is also to expand the operation people. So we want to expand tech in Sofia, we want to expand operation people in different other countries I just explained, and we then want to use the money also to expand sales reps in different European countries. So Payzzter was founded 6 months ago. Ecollect, you know, was founded in 2018. We have showed to the market that we have been quite aggressively in the growing, being a fully bootstrap company. And Panayotis, who's also in the audience today, and myself have decided that we are now opening the company and the network also to investors.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you very much, guys, for hearing me.
Yeah.
And sorry, I can't be there. I was there yesterday, but I had to go back due to an urgent private matter. So enjoy, guys.
Thank
Next
you.
time we see each
Thank you.
other. Really
Yeah.
looking forward. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, fully back here. And the next startup is, I would like for the pitch to welcome on stage Matthias Zeitler from Coliving Semkovo.
Hello, I'm Matthias. I'm pitching today Coliving Semkovo. I believe the future of work is remote. And for the last few years, I've been building Bansko into one of the best spots for digital nomads in Europe. And I think now I'm ready for another ambitious project. I have found an amazing, iconic building from the communist era in Semkovo. It's big enough for 200 apartments and about 8,000 square meters of communal spaces, workspaces, event spaces. This will become a base for location-independent people and remote companies. It's far away from distractions, from traffic jams, or from pollution. So it's pure, unspoiled nature. The building is big enough to do company retreats, to do events where people can connect and where we can build an amazing community. The model that I'm pitching is more of a crowdfunding model. So we want to build this together with the owners of the apartments. They will also own a share in the co-op that is running the co-living business. It will only happen if we find enough buyers for all the apartments, and at the moment we have 68. So I'm here tonight to ask you for an impact investment. Buy an apartment and become part of our community. Let us show the world that Bulgaria could be a leader in the remote work future.
Would you please clarify again your business model? You mentioned something about to buy apartment and to rent it on the other time, right?
Yes, so Semkovo, I don't know who has been in Semkovo. Semkovo is a very small place, it's not even a village. And I don't believe people will live there year round. So a lot of the people will come for like 1 month, maybe 2 months. So when you own an apartment there, the remaining time you can rent it out. And this is how we operate the co-living. So the owners of apartments will use the co-living, but we will also promote this to companies for retreats, for training providers, to run events where we will then rent out these apartments for the owners. And the organization that's renting it out is going to be a co-op, meaning that all the apartment owners are also part of the business and can benefit when the business grows.
Can you elaborate a bit on that? Firstly, thanks for the presentation. Great initiative. I hope it works out. If all these old buildings are refurbished and done into something awesome, that's going to be great. Now, how would it work if someone actually ends up buying an apartment? Do they get a guaranteed income, let's say a guaranteed return, or is it more like by buying an apartment, you actually buy into the entity and then you share like a standard shareholding agreement, basically? You share parts of the profit that the entire building earns.
So you don't get a guaranteed return. So we are running this together as a community-operated business, which means everyone is motivated to promote this. I believe if we have 200 owners that want to rent their apartments and everyone has like 50, 100 friends, it will be very easy to create like energy at this place. And this is why it's not a business. If this would be like a hotel investment, it would never work. Nobody would ever come to this place totally remote in nature where there's nothing else. There's not even a restaurant close by. But if you have 200 people from the startup community that are digital nomads, that are remote workers, companies that want to explore and innovate with us together, then we can create this energy there and we will rent out units and we will be successful together. But it's not a guarantee. It's like something that we need to make happen first, right?
And can you speak about both of these targets that you're having? Firstly, for the people that you want to buy these apartments and help you build this community. And second, who are going to be the companies that you're going to be subletting these and renting these out to sort of get the business moving?
So what we see is that remote work is growing, right? But from time to time, we need to come together. We just experienced if we do everything over Zoom, often it's not very convenient. So even though companies are becoming more remote and more distributed, from time to time, they need to bring teams together for projects. They want to have company retreats where they bring larger groups together. And our location will be perfect to this because we have the workspaces and event spaces. Unlike a hotel, where normally it's just about the accommodation, we can really create the experience for teams. But it will also attract freelancers and digital nomads. So this mix between having companies and individuals at a location and trying to do something together, this is what's creating the magic there.
And who will you be, again, the part of the first question, who will you be selling the units to?
To you.
Me personally.
Yes, you personally. I want you to be part of our community.
Okay, and just one last question from me. Can you give us an example of a successful similar case in Bulgaria or any of the neighboring regions that you can present as, okay, this is where we want to be, this is how it happened for these people, or for this building, we're going to replicate that?
So I don't think there's like a lot of examples for this. Of course, you could look at Selina, for example, which is pretty heavy in co-living, but they don't have this community aspect in it. I think if you look at things, for example, like Factory Berlin, where you have more of a business center, where you create this ecosystem of startups and innovators, I think this is more the model that we want to do, but we want to do this for the future of remote. And we do this in a place that is not a big city. So for example, here in Sofia, I currently stay at a place that is a co-living. It's one of the biggest co-livings in Bulgaria called Work Nomads. It's pretty cool, but it's also very different because it's in this big city. It's full of distractions. There's like too many things going on to really create an amazing community. And I think we will take learnings from the co-living industry and from the startup industry and apply this to what I think is the future of remote.
This sounds great. I mean, I'm a bit partial to that area because I'm close by. I know Semkovo. I've been there as a child, so it's a great idea. I hope it works. I have a question about the facility management. For example, we are 200 people. We invest in this thing. Each one of us has an apartment. How do you manage the facilities? Who is responsible for all these day-to-day operations that are going to be done? How do you kind of collide together to promote who is going to rent out, who is not going to rent out? Have you thought about this?
Yeah, so this is why we have a two-tier model, right? So you will own the apartment, which is similar to when you own an apartment anywhere. But then we have this co-op organization that is running the business. And of course, there will be professional management, there will be cleaners, we will have a platform where we simplify renting it out. So for the end user experience, it doesn't look like they're renting from 200 people. It looks like they're renting from Coliving Semkovo, and it will have a consistent quality standard.
And what is the... what is it for you? I mean, what is the benefit for you as a person that is pitching in front of us here? You're going to be the operator of these things, like the facility manager, let's put it this way. You're going to organize everything, so the benefit and the revenues are going to accrue for you. Are you going, for example, to take a part of the revenues of the owners of these facilities? What's the idea there?
So I think the idea for me personally is the impact. So we just were like in one of the biggest German newspapers on Thursday talking about how I turned Bansko from like a sleepy village into this big nomad hotspot. And Euronews was there as well, so it's coming out I think on Monday in Euronews, but this story is kind of over, right? So now the question is, what is the next level? And I think the next level is not co-working where we only work together, but co-living where more happens in the same community, where we can build deeper connections. And of course, it will take a little bit money for the real estate development, but once the project is established, the whole idea of having owners and having a co-op is that I won't run this like I run Bansko. This will be a community project where the owners can decide who should be in the management. And of course, initially, they will probably vote me in because we need to launch this project and make it happen. But the idea is that over time, this is becoming an organization that's sustainable without me.
Yeah, that's great. I think there should be some kind of a centralization and a decision-making body about this, because a bunch of people kind of coming together and they have different, let's say, opinions how to run this, how to run that. So there should be kind of an overarching body that runs that, and it should be kind of, how to say, kind of voted by these people that have a kind of a skin in the game. But it should be more of an operation type of a thing, because it's a bit hard. I know the place. It's quite far away. The infrastructure is not that great. You need internet, you need transportation, you need everything. The roads are not that great as well. But I think it has potential. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you share some numbers, please? I mean, what is the average price per stay, and what is the minimum period for stay, for example, maybe for a month or whatever? And in order to reach some level of sustainability, how many facilities you have to sell in order to sustain the business? Where is the break even? I mean, to elaborate there.
Okay, so it's a total of 200 units. We have an agreement with the seller of the building that we can start the project if we sell 125 and then have an option for the remaining units, which is in a separate block. I think it would be better if we sell all the units, because then it's also easier to operate the building. The price points depend on the specific apartment, of course, and on the furniture, but roughly you should expend about 25,000 euros for a small studio that's furnished and renovated. And we aim to rent them out initially at a 500 euro price point per month.
25K you mentioned.
25,000 euros to buy it, and then the rent should be about 500 euros initially, just to fill the building. I think once we have established that this is an amazing destination, we can look at other co-living spaces and what they charge. So for example, if you look at Selina, it's very difficult to get even like a shared accommodation in one of their properties below 1,000 euros per month. And of course, Bulgaria is not Lisbon, but still I think it's moving in this direction. If we have companies that do retreats that are shorter, then of course the shorter stays are proportionally a little bit higher, because we have to do check-in and check-out and cleaning and so on. Here in Sofia, the co-living that I'm staying, they have a monthly rate of 650 euro, but they have no kitchens in the units. And also like the common areas are a little bit different. But I think our price level is very competitive and can work at a location like this where the cost of real estate is lower. And of course, there's like a lot of things that we need to do. But EV tolls are coming, for example, maybe for transportation. We already have fiber there. The municipality managed to get some European funds to fix the road. So there is development, but it's still early enough for us to get in there as an attractive price point.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. So if I buy an apartment, I own it, I can go there, right? And stay. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And when I'm not there, a company can come book the apartment.
If you want that. So it's the owner's choice if they want to be part of this rental pool. There might be some owners that decide, okay, I don't want anyone to sleep in my bed. Even if I'm there only like 1 month a year, I don't want to rent it out. So you have the option to decide, do you want to use it yourself? Do you want to rent it out, or is it like a mixed case?
Let's assume that I want to rent it out because it's good income. But then again, in the mountains, you only have 2 good seasons when everybody would want to go there, including the owners. So would that create a clash between the preference of the owners to stay there in January, let's say, and in August, and the companies that might want pretty much the same thing, especially in winter?
So my learning is you have to promote the off-season. So it's kind of similar in Bansko, where when I first came there, everyone told me people will only come in the winter. Reality for us is the summer is way busier than the winter. I think the kind of off-season periods, like let's say April, May, October, November, these are great periods where we should organize retreats, education programs, maybe acceleration or incubation, so where we try to fill this building with life, with people that don't only come because they want to ski or because they want to mountain bike.
And can you explain us about the economics of the whole co-working space, because you're mainly talking about the apartments, but actually the whole magic of the community is going to be happening somewhere else, right? They'll be sleeping in the apartments, but what you'll be selling is all the other amenities and facilities. What's the business there? what's the revenue that you expect from these 200 apartments or 200 guests? And there will be a company, I guess, managing these revenues in the office spaces, in the restaurants and all the other facilities. And what are the numbers there?
Yes. So the co-living co-op will
And is that open to investments as well?
Hmm?
And is that part of the investment in the apartments?
Yeah. So if you buy an apartment, you get a share in the co-op. The co-op is only owned by the 200 apartment owners. So it's not like I or an investor has like 30% and then we kind of distribute the remaining. No.
And what are the costs and revenues of the other parts outside of the apartment, outside of the 500 euro per month?
So this is built into the 500 euro per month package. So this is what you would pay initially as a guest to fill the building. The idea is that there's some profit center. So if you would run this as a hotel, it's like a centralized organization, and we would also run the restaurant and the tours and maybe.
And what are the costs per apartment then for all these services?
So for you to rent it as a guest, it's 500 euros per month. It's
The
initial.
costs for organizing all these services, offices,
so
running the whole space.
Yes. So out of the 500 euros, one part goes to the owners, about 200 euros. One part goes to the co-living co-op that is operating the co-living, and then one part goes to like overhead costs for cleaning for the check-in and check-out. To reach break even on the operation. So this is the best part. So the owners will also have like an annual maintenance fee. And this annual maintenance fee also covers like the minimum viable co-living operations. And also remember that we own all the property for the co-living, so there is no rental cost if owners use this, right? So it's already covered in the initial sale. And then the annual maintenance fees will cover the minimum co-living operations, and the guests basically bring profit to the co-op. And then this profit is distributed back to the owners. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthias. And I just, in case you don't remember, you can vote for the best startup for tonight, or Scaleup for tonight. And by using the link ahaslides.com/P2P vote, and you can vote for your favorite startup. Are you? Yeah! Okay, great. So the next startup is Elica Stoilova, Umni, the AI chatbot.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone in the audience and to the mentors. Businesses are paying $1.3 trillion annually for chats and calls with customers. Customers expect them to be available 24/7, yet companies cannot do that due to lack of employees and budget. And 80% of the communication anyway are repetitive tasks and questions. This is the fate of 310,000 Bulgarian small and mid-sized businesses and millions in Europe and United States. Umni is helping these businesses stay competitive by selling more, saving on time and resources, being available 24/7, therefore not missing on customers, and growing by implementing an AI chatbot as easy as playing with Lego. When other platforms are focusing on the needs of the corporates, developers, and messengers, we're helping these businesses to turn their website into a smart communication hub that is personalized to their needs. Last year, we saved 15,000 hours to our customers, and half of this time was at night. Currently, we're looking into seeking for 500,000 euro in a split round to boost sales and marketing, and to develop further the AI chatbot in a super app for the business. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the average time and effort and costs on onboarding one client and basically adapting the chatbot to the specific details connected to one venue, if it's a hotel or it's also?
On our platform, we have three types of customers. The first type of customers are customers that do not use artificial intelligence, and their chatbot can be done in one day. and already live on the website and making business. This is the case of 2 chatbots we released this week. They were done this week and released also this week, and in the first 48 hours they made their first sales. I was very happy to see this morning in social media the owners of the chatbots sharing everywhere that like, yeah, we have the first sales from our chatbots while we were sleeping. The second type of customers are customers that are training their AI chatbots on their own. The basic chatbot, because the chatbots usually a hybrid, they have their basic portion and then the AI portion. The basic portion is done in a matter of couple days, and the AI training goes with the time as fast as the organic customer questions come and the business is training their chatbot. And the third type of customers are the most benefited one, because they're using what we call a centralized AI, already pre-trained AI models that we provide them with. So the customers is just making in a week their chatbot, filling the database with their answers, and the chatbot is available already on their websites to answer from day one. The onboarding of the customers, after signing the contract, it takes usually one training of 1 hour. The fastest closure of customers was today. We had a first sales conversation, and the next day we had a contract signed. The larger is the company, the longer is the sales cycle, but usually it's 1.5 to 2 months max.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Very gracious jury, I have to say. Thank you for the presentation, and congrats on what you've achieved, and congrats on the sales that you've been doing for the past few days. Now, you mentioned the AI and the chatbot. Like, we've all been hearing about chatbots for a while, especially for the past few months. Chatbots have exploded, AI has exploded, everyone knows what OpenAI is now. And it's a hugely competitive space, even before the OpenAI explosion in the past months. So, your AI, is it proprietary? Is it something that you've built yourselves, or do you just use an out-of-the-box model that you train on data for your clients? That's one. And two, what is the unique value of your specific product compared to the entire industry that everyone's going into now? Like Google, Microsoft, even Alibaba are developing their own ChatGPT version.
Yeah, I received this question for the last 2 months over and over again. Your actually question had a few questions inside of it, so I'll break it and answer one by one. Let's start from the backwards, from ChatGPT, from Microsoft, from all this AI battle that we see now in the media. First, these are not AI chatbots. These are language models, and these are technological providers that actually are not competition to us, but help us grow and provide better service to the end customer, which is the business. So for us, it is a great luck that actually this is happening right now, because even people that never heard about AI chatbot now know that there is a software solution that works instead of a human being and can do repetitive tasks. More innovative people already are using all these technologies, and the regular business start calling us and asking how we can put that in work in my business. So basically we're gaining now popularity of the technology because of what happens. This technology that is developing now, all these language models that are fighting for the place #1, are actually needing a platform like ours, because in order to become a business solution, they need a place through which to perform as such. And platforms as ours, where they can be integrated to work for the end business, are actually a needed instrument for them to perform. In the business AI chatbot, the AI portion is a very small portion of what a business needs. The rest of the things on a platform like ours are all the other information or other tasks that can happen. Dynamic forms that can pop up, tidying the AI answer to a form or to information section to put the customers through communication channel and funnels inside of the chatbot. All these things happen on the platform, and a simple AI language model cannot do that. So definitely, in order for these technologies to become business solution, they need a platform to perform on such platform. So that's when we come to why we are different. We are in the space of chatbots for the last 6 years. We start as a chatbot agency, building a custom chatbots for various customers from various industries, using other platforms. So first we learn what are pros and cons of the other platforms, what are the bottlenecks that we have to grow, and what are the bottlenecks our customers have, because in order for this technology to become really accessible for any business, even the smallest one, you need to give the power of the control to the customer, not to the middleman like we were before. And that's what's the problem of many of the platforms that exist, because the first generation of platforms that came 2016, 17, 18, they were mainly focused on the needs of enterprises. So the solutions are very complicated, they're low code, or they're frameworks for developers, and they are not something that the small and mid-sized business can use. The other type of platforms are related to messengers, because that was the second way of platforms that show up, and they're very strongly tied to the ecosystem of the messengers, being Facebook Messenger or Viber or anything else. So they are not independent platforms that the business can control what they do, put it on their website and have control on data, functionalities, and everything else. They have to do whatever Facebook decides that's possible or not possible. So this, and because of that, all these platforms do not have built-in AI. You have to build your agent in Dialogflow or with AI or somewhere else. As a business, you have to then maintain two platforms, the chatbot platform and the AI platform, and make integration between, and then you're becoming not affordable and easy to do for small and mid-sized businesses. So that's what we learn in our experience, and when we decide to make our own platform, that's what we took in account, creating an instrument that is 100% controlled by the small and mid-sized business, and it's so very easy to use it, to put any element you need to train your AI with couple simple steps, and it's in one place. And AI is not you're using, we have built in the AI inside of our platform. We're using European open AI to make sure that we don't have any GDPR issues for European customers. I hope I answer your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great presentation always. You're right that ChatGPT probably is not a direct competitor there, but many startups like yours are going to probably use it. There is an API like that. So the question here is maybe kind of elaborating on Kamen's point here. How are you going to outshout and outshine the competition here? And that has kind of a connection with the kind of a go-to-market strategy and the sales model. How are you going to sell to these people? Because it's one thing to sell in Bulgaria. I mean, it's a small market, but another thing is to kind of to compete for the attention of different businesses outside of Bulgaria. So that is my question there.
Okay, thank you. Two questions. The first question is about ChatGPT and how we're gonna, and everybody's now going this direction. We're going this direction too. As we're speaking, our team in the last weeks is experimenting in implementing ChatGPT into our platform as a secondary AI. So if the trained AI model doesn't hit an answer, that can go to ChatGPT for covering and backup and extending, improving the customer experience with the conversational AI for our business customers. So we do experiment with that, and for sure we're gonna use this technology. It will not miss our new platform. The second question is go-to-market. We are going into, first we're about to release a new platform, version of the platform, which is removing the barriers we have so far to scale faster, with more languages and more flexibility for the businesses to create and use AI chatbots. So we are going to be looking into a couple of directions, and one is digital marketing, because we are working with mid and small-sized businesses. Second is, and it works so far very well for us, is being very well presented in media, in networking, in conferences where our potential customers base is. And the third is working with strategic partners. Currently, we already are creating an ecosystem around us, people that want to build chatbots for their customers, like web designers, digital marketing agencies. Right now, we are working with an agency that have over 150 customers in hospitality, and they want to put the chatbot as one of their services. And we have, as I said already, we already have pre-trained hotel AI chatbot model that recognizes over 8,000 customer questions in Bulgarian English on 750 topics. So they'll be able to enhance their services to their customers, and we're going to gain 150 customers of theirs. So we're going to be working also in this direction. And looking into signature customers that could, naturally will, by having them as customer, naturally will promote us also as platform.
Okay, what is the number of the people you have in your team, and what is their profile? I mean, they're engineers or salespeople or marketing?
Currently, we are 7 people, the 2 co-founders. Me, I'm ex-hotelier, general manager of a hotel in the past. Ex-hotelier, general manager of a hotel in my past.
You can share with him some know-how.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the CTO is IT person, Cyrcle. We have another marketing person, and the rest are senior developers and QA, quality assurance person.
What about business people?
I'm the business person.
Okay.
I was the CEO of the company.
Because you sound quite convincing, but still, what is the biggest challenge in front of you at this particular stage at the moment?
At this particular stage in Bulgaria, on the Bulgarian market, the challenge was people not being aware of the AI chatbot as technology. Means getting faster to more people, which comes with, if we have the necessary funding, would be solved with marketing efforts. But luckily for us, now Google and Microsoft are doing their job for promoting us also with AI chatbots in the news.
Probably a relevant question. What about the pricing strategy? I mean, like, is it revenue? Is it subscription, yearly? And what is the sweet spot of revenue per client? Like, you're getting €1,000 a year, a month? What is the model behind?
Currently on Bulgarian market, we are, and as a platform, we are software as a service. There is a monthly recurring fee based on what a package of service the customers get without AI, with self-service AI, or with pre-trained AI. The prices currently on Bulgarian market go between 30-40 leva per month, up to 119 leva per month, apologize, depend on the package. Average revenue per customer is 69-79 leva per month. This is our current pricing strategy before we release our new platform, when we're adding more functionalities, and we're going to be raising the prices, and including our international prices will be in euro.
What is the expected international price per month?
Per month, the average will be around 89 euro in average.
Last question.
Sure.
Can you please share some traction figures and your validation for international expansion? Because you're speaking in the future tense for how much the international price is going to be. Do you have any international clients, and what's your current client breakdown between Bulgaria and international clients?
Our international clients are actually Bulgarian representatives of the international clients. One of them is Test2. This is the largest tour operator on the Balkans. It's a Turkish company. Timber Poland is our customers. We gained them over a Poland company that worked before with them for chatbot, and we already for 4 years working with them.
And sorry to interrupt you. Can you tell us a bit of an aggregate number? Let's say 30% of our customers are international, and how much is that in revenue?
Yeah, currently, except 4 customers that are international, everybody else is in Bulgaria, because we were in development of the technology and searching the market fit between demand and technology. The new platform that we are releasing, the new version of the platform that we are releasing, would allow us to go international. Our pricing comes from the research on the market in Europe, and what is the pricing that is going on over on such platforms. In Europe, most of the platforms that are servicing now are the platforms that are low-code or framework platforms, and the prices there come from £300 a month, some like for the mid-sized businesses, to projects that are starting from $100,000 fixed price to start project. So We are looking into becoming the platform that is really available for small and mid-sized businesses. And
how many total clients? I'm sorry?
we currently have 45 customers.
45. And how much revenue are you getting from them on a monthly basis?
The recurring monthly revenue is close to 3,000 leva.
3,000 level.
Yes. 3,000 leva, close to 3,000 leva.
And how much do you project to end the year with?
With the new platform, our goal for the next 12 months after releasing is to gain at least 1,000 customers.
1,000 at least?
Yes, because the entire process will be automated. Like, for example, currently we're issuing invoices, they're paid by wire transfer, we have to do contracting with the customers. On the new platform, it's all automated with credit card payments, so we are actually removing this barrier for being able to get more customers simultaneously. And that will also allow us to go outside, because we have had inquiries from abroad, but that was a challenge for getting customers from outside because they wanted to pay with credit card and didn't want to make wire transfers. So that was one of the bottlenecks that we are removing now with the new version of the platform.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We have 2 more Scaleups tonight, and the next one is Enrico Marino from Cyrcle, I would say, or maybe Cyrcle. Okay, but in a special way written. Please welcome on stage. It's a shared micro-mobility. Good luck.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. So, okay. Hi, I'm Enrico, and I'm co-founder of Cyrcle. We're on a mission to make our cities more livable, one bicycle ride at a time. So, let's be honest, urban mobility could be a pain in the ass sometimes. We have traffic, air and noise pollution, we have limited parking spaces, so this is to name a few. Our cure is in the form of a bike sharing service, providing convenient door-to-door mobility that also promotes a healthy lifestyle. With over 7,000 users of our mobile app in just 10 months, we saved over 10 tons of CO2, making a positive impact on our community and environment. With the micromobility TAM in Eastern Europe being worth $2.2 billion, we're pretty sure that we're onto something big. And with a 250K euro investment, we can bring our bike sharing service to the next level, adding electric bikes to our fleet and achieving break-even in less than 12 months. So let's work together to make our cities a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I think we can all agree that we need better urban mobility around here. In which cities in Bulgaria are you active?
Right now, only in Sofia. We launched last April, and so far we are 10 months.
How many bikes?
We started with 50, and basically around August, September, we added 50 more. So right now we have 100 bikes on the streets.
They're still in one piece, all of them?
Let's say that most of them. We have very few that we haven't seen.
Because I've seen what happens to those bikes, not just in Sofia, by the way, just in any city. One more question, what percentage of yearly revenues, let's say, your capex is for the bicycle? Basically, how long till a bike pays for itself?
All right, so in a model that is like full scaled, we need about 12 months. And this is taking into consideration that we are paying also the OPEX in the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Hi,
Enrico, always a pleasure. Great presentation as always. And very needed service. I love these types of services. I'm a huge admirer of these services. They really changed my daily life. But unfortunately, we see that this sector has seen some struggles. In the beginning, it seemed some unit economic struggles, then there was a hype, then was a lot of investment, a lot of expansion. And now we're still seeing this struggle within like micro-mobility companies. And can you share a bit about how you've plan to solve all the issues of the sector, and in terms of unit economics, in terms of expansion, in terms of margins, in terms of the highs and lows of the seasonality that we have here? And to be honest, Sofia is a terrible city for this because we have a lot of terrible roads, a lot of uphills. Going in the center is very difficult. Do you believe we have the infrastructure to support this? I mean, can you just speak a bit on the aggregate industry and where you see yourselves in that industry and how you plan to solve these problems that we've all seen in micromobility?
Many questions, but let's start with the first one.
It's
about the unit economics. So we saw Bird basically going bankrupt end of last year, and definitely there is something to be worried about, but this is if you're in a stage of a very high growth, in my opinion, because what Lime and Bird did was expanding too fast, maybe. Now what you see with companies like Voi, Bolt, Tier, they have profitable quarters, and basically they are getting the money from investors exactly because they're profitable at the end. They're not expanding that fast, and they have some time to like establish the business in the current cities, not only looking forward to go somewhere else. So that's my opinion about unit economics. When it comes to Sofia as a city, yeah, you have a lot of seasonality. That's our first winter, so we see it. But that's something that we take into account doing our calculations and our financial plans. So even with this seasonality, you can definitely make a profit. And in terms of the infrastructure that we have, you might even say that it's good for us as a bike sharing company compared to, let's say, scooter sharing companies, that the infrastructure is not that well, because basically the kick scooters have a lot smaller wheels, for example, so they're not that stable on the road, while bikes are.
All right, thank you.
Can you a little bit tell us about your slightly long-term vision of the company, and how do you see the competition playing in this field? Because let's say in 2 years it's getting really popular in Sofia, and there are a lot of companies that already have significant businesses around the world being established here. And do you have some intel whether these would be competitors that could probably take you out of business, let's say in 4 or 5 years, if they want to pour some millions into the Bulgarian market? Especially the scooter companies that are already present here, and it would not cost them a lot to already benefit on a service that you have promoted and built awareness about.
Yeah, so companies like Lime, Bird, and so on, big companies that operate in this space, they attract a lot of one-time users, let's say. So if you're a tourist in Sofia, probably you'll get a Lime. But when it comes to the residents of the city, what we plan is actually to launch subscription service this year, like a monthly subscription. And once you do it and you're the first on the market, basically you guarantee a lot of retention, and somehow you deal with this issue about competition in future.
And don't you think that like the company that has the most units around every person in town, it's gonna be the winner? Like,
definitely, but that's why we are first on the market, and we are here to ask for something.
All right.
Because we want to be the one with the most units. Right. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, units definitely is the most important factor.
Thanks.
Thank you for the presentation. Again, it's a great initiative. I'm an avid bike rider, And I can concur that the infrastructure in Sofia is terrible. So I hope this improves in the future. My question is, have you estimated how large the market is, for example, here in Sofia? That's one thing. What is the utilization rate per bike, at least for the short period of time that you have been in operation? Is there any churn? Following up on my colleague's question over there about, let's say, destroying property, destroying the bikes and stuff like that, because probably, I don't know how you track them. Do you track them? Somehow probably you do. But it's very easy for the bikes to be, for example, stolen, something like that. Maybe you have thought about that. Can you share that with us? And another question I have is, as far as I know, is the Sofia municipality is about to run some tenders, or they have tried to run some tenders for such kind of shared bike services and stuff like that. I can concur that this game is about footprint, and if you're first, you can actually be very successful. We experienced that with Spark when we invested. Now I think it's going to be very difficult for somebody else to come in, pour a lot of money and kind of take over their share of the market. So do you see any competition from the municipality and stuff like that? Do you plan to, for example, to apply for this tender, or these are my questions? Thank you.
So 3 questions. Could you just repeat the first one, because I kind of forgot.
The first one was about, I forgot my question actually, but because I'm just thinking out loud, the first one was about the size of the market.
The size of the market.
The size of the market, how do you estimate that? Because again, it's a volume game. You need a lot of bikes, you need high utilization to reach these margins, to reach the profitability, something that other companies have struggled with, so yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of the market, what I said was $2.2 billion in Eastern Europe. This is an estimation that I got through Goldman Sachs report. What I do for myself is I kind of project on what we have so far and what we see as demand so far. So we have 100 units, but we are still operating on a very small area of Sofia, just 12 square kilometers. Just for reference, Sofia is about 500 square kilometers big. So in order to calculate the market size, I kind of think about the bikes that are needed to cover each area of Sofia, and then multiply it by a number, and this number is the number of basically the number of sessions, rental sessions, that we believe that we are somehow losing by not having enough bikes even in that area that we have right now. Right now we are losing probably about 60 to 70% of the bike rentals, and this we see by looking at the data from our app and seeing how many people actually opened the app and they're registered and so on, and how many people actually did a rental session that day. So we're losing a big portion of this only because we don't have enough units. So in terms of Sofia, I believe that in the next 2 to 3 years, we can easily have about 3,000 bikes and not being too saturated. So just for a reference, in Paris, for example, they have bike sharing for a long time there. They have about 25–30K bikes, and they do about 140K trips every day. So about 5 to 6 trips per bike per day. And this is in winter time. Just so that's a data from January this year. In summertime, they make like 10 trips per day.
Yep.
So
Per bike per day.
Yeah, per bike per day. That's right.
Yep.
So on your second question, maybe.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, about the churn rate. This is in terms of like destructed bikes, damaged bikes, and so on, right? As I said, the percentage is very small. So we have 100 bikes, less than the number of fingers of my hand have gone, and we have not seen since. Sorry? I still have 5. So yeah, at the beginning it was very hard. There were a lot of attempts for thefts, but we were reacting fast enough to catch the thieves, basically. Yeah. And the third question was about. Can you just remind me? What was the third question about?
I think this is enough. I forgot my question actually, so let
All right.
my colleague is going to ask you.
Well, it's in a perfect world, there is no limit of money that you can access. So the question is how far you can go. I mean, like, what is the expansion that you dream of you can do?
Yeah. So this is taking into consideration the.
Imagine there is no limit to money.
All right. Well, then you need to populate like the biggest cities of Eastern Europe, for example, and then you have to think big, like tens of thousands of bikes, because as I said, only in Sofia you can easily have 3,000. So our next step, what we are looking forward to, is Thessaloniki, because you have less seasonality there, and you have a lot of tourists and so on. But in order to populate all big cities in all countries neighboring Bulgaria, for example, you simply need tens of thousands of units.
And a side question, who is the supplier of the bikes? Who is the producer?
It's a Bulgarian company.
Good. Can they do a lot of bikes?
Good. A lot. And we have, and by a lot I mean hundreds of thousands right now. Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
I believe someone already asked this question, but again, how do you cope with the stealing and destroying the bikes? I mean,
emotionally, or?
I mean, do you track them, or what
Sorry?
do you do? Do you track them, or?
Yeah, we track them. We have GPS devices. We have alarm system. So, as I said at the beginning, we had a lot of attempts, but very few successful.
Yeah, and the use case, because I'm not sure how does it work. I mean, it's like the scooters, or you throw them on the street, and whatever you find on your app, you
yeah,
get
basically
one?
they are stationless, if that's the question. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe that in a world where we have 3,000 bikes in Sofia, then you need stations, because you cannot have just the entire city messed up.
Right.
Yeah. But right now, I think it's pretty okay.
Okay. And a final one for me. I'm super curious about this, purely on a personal level. It's usually such a pain to try to find the source of, let's say, a unit close by when there's so few units on the streets, right? With 100 units, and we've experienced this with smaller companies locally, it's just very difficult to find the bike everywhere in the capital. The thing that Stoyan also talked about, the units and being available everywhere. What's your process for repositioning bikes, and how do you choose the spots? Like, do you do analytics or where your most when your clients most use the bikes, or where these people live, where they spend the most time during various hours of the day? Or do you just say, okay, these are the hotspots in Sofia, so we're just going to place them there?
So at the beginning, you have to be very open-minded about this, because otherwise you put your bias into the business and you put more units there. Of course, then you see on the analysis that there are bikes that are taken from there, like this is the hotspot, okay? But that's your bias. So at the beginning, what we did was placing very uniformly the bikes across our operating area. And then by seeing the demand in each one, then we started to push more that area or that area and so on, yeah.
Can you tell us the average number of rides per day right now?
Right
per
now?
bike, yeah, and also in your top month, I guess, in the summer.
Yeah, so per bike per day,
Yeah.
right? So right now it's...
For the whole portfolio of 100, basically.
So at the beginning we
The
started
average per bike.
with 50 only. So at the beginning we had, so for example in May we had about 1.5, almost 2 rides per bike per day. But right now it's really much lower. So right now we have about 10 to 20 rides per day, given the winter conditions.
Mm-hmm. And in the top month of the year?
Well, actually,
What do you expect?
May and August were the top months. So what I said.
And for this year, it's going to be more, I guess.
Sorry?
Because there is high adoption right now. Probably this year expect more rides per day, right?
Definitely, and actually, if we expand the service and provide more bikes, we want to actually make a higher saturation. I'm sorry.
But what's the number? What's the number? How many rides per bike per day?
So we want to get at least 50% up of what we did that year, at least. But I believe we can easily go up to 2x what we did per bike per day. If we take into account an investment of 250k euro, that will be about 300 bikes more. So 400 bikes times 2, so 8-fold what we did this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Enrico. And now you know the drill. You need to vote ahaslides.com/P2P vote. You know the drill. You should add the judges on LinkedIn, of course. You know the drill. You can follow me and Elena on Instagram, mojo.master.elena, and Nas Native, this is me. So big applause for the next startup, which is Ascend Level of Iris Biometrics.
Hi, I'm Asen from Iris Biometrics. We're developing a biometric identification and access control solution by combining advanced hardware and software to help organizations reduce fraud, increase privacy, while saving on plastics and at the same time introducing more convenience and hygiene. Enterprise Biometrics generated $50 billion in revenue last year, primarily by banks, healthcare companies, and industrial sector companies. And our company is similar to Alcatraz AI, who recently raised $25 million. And also PalmKey, who just generated $4 million last year in revenue. But except our technology is superior and costs less and is more secure. Currently, we're at a late prototype stage, and we have a team of 9 experts, and we have the following traction. We have 18 pilot requests by clients such as banks, hospitals, office buildings, and industrial facilities. And we have formed preliminary partnerships with the leading system integrators in the region. We're looking for a 300,000 euro investment for product development, marketing, and of course, most importantly, to provide our pipeline clients with the best technology possible.
Hi, again. I have a question about who are going to be the first kind of niche customers that you're going to kind of attack in terms of the verticals. Why is that so? What is the competition there? Yeah. And then again, can you kind of elaborate about the use cases of the technology itself, the different use cases, and how you're better than incumbent technologies at the moment? These are the two questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great questions. So for the first one, industrial facilities are the best go-to client because they require little devices, so the number of devices is smaller, and they want to use it for time attendance. This allows us to gather more biometric data, which in turn allows us to make a better AI recognition algorithm, which is a key possible USP in the future for us to make the best AI algorithm out there compared to our competitors. The possible applications of this technology are endless because what we did with our technology was that we put a task on ourselves to solve the problems with scalability and security for other technologies. So other biometrics, you generally can fool them with a fake face, with a fake fingerprint. Generally, you can manipulate those sensors, most of them. And that's the security issue on one hand. Then you have the scalability issue. And the scalability issue is how many users can the system reliably recognize? Because most systems would have an upper limit of 5,000 to 10,000 users, and then they would start making too many errors. So we wanted a device that's secure enough and that's scalable enough. And also, at the same time, it's practical because the hand recognition systems where you place your hand are very secure. They're great. But this means everybody would have to place their hand on the same surface. And in the long run, that just doesn't work, and the user experience is bad. So the applications, those can be used for ID verification, ID lookup, access control, and time attendance is the obvious one, which we're starting with. But then we could expand even to payments, which is what some companies are doing right now. Like fully biometric payments don't really exist yet. It's very rare. But it's entirely possible with a technology like ours, and we want to prove it.
And the second question was about use cases.
Yeah, the use cases, I mentioned them, the ID management, access control, payments. So, for example, they could be used as a patient ID or a student ID for hospitals and universities. Actually, a similar technology to ours already is used by a lot of hospitals in the States, which are carrying 10 million identities of patients. And the regulation is such that it actually requires such technology to protect the medical records of patients, to have an additional security layer. The HIPAA regulation, it's called.
So hardware production, mass production of hardware related to access control is a pretty hard job. And distributing it is not the easiest job in the world. But do you think that if you manage to convince the world that this kind of biometrics would be the new standard for access control, all these producers of hardware would basically copy what your technology is and basically use all their factories, distribution channels, and experience in selling access control devices or doors, as they are known, to basically replace you. So you build awareness and somebody else eats the banica.
Yeah. Yeah, so in terms of production of hardware is always scalable. At the beginning, you start by getting a smaller production suppliers, then you grow, and you start outsourcing the majority of the production. The distribution in access control system happens mainly through system integrators. So we are not really going to be in charge of mainly the distribution of the access control technology, rather the ID management technology. It's okay to do direct sales by ourselves. So what protects us from somebody else copying that technology? You see, this technology it's not new. Ours is new, but the similar technologies have been around for 20, 30 years now. It's about who gets to the market and who gets it right, who puts the right software in, and we're also patent pending in the States right now. We have submitted 2 patents for our technology because mainly the biggest differentiator from our technology to the other palm vein scanners is the thermal sensors, which make ours more secure. So this is it. Somebody could figure out a way to come up with something similar, but the key is to get to the market and add as much value as possible to the user through the software and through the user experience. The AI is very important in this case, because right now, the similar technologies require you to place your hand in the same position every single time. So when the scanner is on the wall, you have to place your hand like this. But if you place it tilted, it's not going to recognize you. And that's just a pain. I mean, how could they do that? And we're very focused on user experience and building an AI that works similar to Face ID, that could recognize you from different angles, and etc. User experience, software functionality, and patents. That's what we're building as an entry barrier for others.
You slightly explained the question I was about to ask you a bit more deeply, but yet again I'm going to dig a bit deeper into it. Can you tell us a bit about the technology itself? You say that it's available for 20, 30 years and you're just figuring out a different application for it right now. So how are you going to be able to defend it with a patent in that case? I mean, doesn't it have something outstanding already, or you're just defending the packaging of it with this extra sensor that you're talking about, the thermal sensor?
Well, the story behind this technology is actually very interesting. 20 years ago, the Japanese government asked Fujitsu and Hitachi, who were the technological leaders of the country, to come up with a solution for the emerging credit card fraud. So Fujitsu came up with the palm vein scanning, and Hitachi came up with the finger vein scanning. Now, keep in mind, those are the smartest Japanese people in the planet in that time, so they came up with the best biometric technology possible. They ended up putting that technology into thousands of ATMs in Japan, Brazil, then some other countries as well, and they reduced the credit card fraud critically by replacing the PIN code of the card with a biometric read. With a biometric read. So yes, to the other question about the patent and about the additional sensor, nobody yet has so far combined thermal and infrared imaging in this sector. And the thing is why that's so special is because Fujitsu's device, which they have worked on for 20 years now, you can manipulate it by giving it a fake hand made out of wax, by imitating the vein structure. Because I didn't mention this, but our technology works by combining your hand geometry, your palm print, and also your internal vein structure of the hand, because that's unique in every single person. And by combining the external features of your hand with the internal characteristics of your hand, we get a very rich biometric profile, which nobody could replicate. And if we add a thermal sensor, you couldn't replicate that.
But it's basically a validator, right? The thermal sensor basically says, yes, this is a hand because it's warm, right?
Well, it's a grid, actually. It's not just a one-point sensor. We have a low-resolution image of the hand. So this gives us an idea that the entire hand has a standard thermal footprint. And when you plug that into an AI who knows how to differentiate a fake input from a real input, we're not using the thermal scan for recognition. It's not of sufficient quality, but it's of sufficient quality to tell us if the hand is real or not.
Okay, and you're going to be planning to be extra defensible with the AI that you're planning to build going forward, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, okay, thank you.
Thank you. When do you expect to close your first client? You said you have some pilot clients in the pipeline.
Yes,
Testers.
our first deployment will be in about 4 months. It's an industrial facility, and by the end of the year, we're hoping to deploy our systems at least 5 of our pipeline clients.
Okay, how long does this deployment take, and what resources do you need? How many experts of your team need to go there, install everything? How much time does it take?
You see, the problem with access control systems is that you actually have to install them, and you actually have to cooperate with the company, work with them to see which devices you would start replacing. They're using currently RFID scanners, and it's a long process. It takes cooperation. We haven't done this so far. We're just starting to do it. We don't know how long it will take, but that's why in the future we want to offer more and more ID management solutions. For example, the patient ID and the student ID solutions I mentioned, because this way we'll just ship out the devices. And about the access control, we'll just leave it to the expert, the system integrators, the companies who are deploying such solutions at large scale and know the in and outs of this industry. They're very open to partnerships with new technology providers because they're also looking to offer some new product on the market. The feedback I've received from them is they're tired from the laggy fingerprint devices, and people are very skeptical towards facial recognition right now because of privacy violations.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Just one question, and it's been itching me quite a lot. Why do you need an AI technology for the palm recognition? It's a pattern recognition, it's just image recognition. What is the AI element? Is it like like blockchain used to be about startups? You attach the word to the startup like a blockchain, and now it's fancy. Yeah. What is the AI element there?
That's again a great question. As I mentioned, the user experience is very important. You don't want the person to feel uncomfortable using this device or having to try several times to get recognized. So that's one aspect, improving the user experience and allowing the user to place their hand wherever they want it to be placed. And the other reason is the privacy reason. AI allows us to encrypt this information in an irreversible way using a technology called deep hashing, which encrypts the information, but at the same time, it's stored there. You just can't generate back the biometric data out of it, but our recognition algorithm can then work with this deep hash to recognize who that person is.
I believe we discussed this a couple of months ago, but again, my question is regarding your go-to-market strategy. Because obviously this technology, if it works, it has a quite broad application. I mean, in different verticals, in different use cases. So my question is, what is the low-hanging fruit in terms of vertical and use case, and what is your go-to-market strategy?
The low-hanging fruit, exactly, that's our go-to-market strategy, to start with that. And that's namely the industrial facilities and office buildings that are looking either for a competitive advantage or for more convenience or hygiene. The thing is, we're very competitive in terms of cost to other biometric authentication solutions. And if a client has already decided they're looking for more security, we could be presented as a more preferable option to those clients. But from then on, because those are low revenue potential clients, the thing is to establish our credibility and authority there, our technological credibility, of course, and then move on to the high revenue potential clients, which are also high hanging fruits. Those are the hospitals, those are the universities, those are border control, governments, and, payments eventually one day.
So your plan is to make some partnership with system integrators, for example?
For access control, yes.
Yeah.
We've already made, we have Telelink, Sectron, Simon Technologies, Venicomnet, And we've also built a good relationship with Bosch starting now. So those are the main system integrators here in the region.
Yeah, and the deployment is as a part of their solution, and your identification solution is kind of embedded in theirs. It's not standalone.
They don't offer solutions that they own themselves. They just install them. That's their job. They just it's kind of a profit share agreement. Yeah, commission.
Yeah. Thank you. We had a lot of technical questions, and probably we're investors in 2 production companies with products. And the big question is, usually on the market, you buy some shit. You don't buy always the best thing on the market. I mean, you buy the thing that is most advertised. So coming to the sales, it is like, why, how, on the sales side, you're going to sell this, and why the clients will prefer it. Is it going to be an extra margin for your system integrators? Are you going to give them 40, 50% of the sales? Because it doesn't matter whether you're Bosch, Schneider, whoever else. If you don't make enough money, why should I sell your products?
It's a competitive advantage for both the end client and the system integrator. For the system integrator, because they're offering this hot new solution, and for the end client, because they have implemented this very innovative biometric technology in their offices or facilities. Okay, the integrator, since I told you, let's do a comparison. So the typically higher security biometric systems that are good enough, they cost about 1,000 euro per device right now. Ours is going to cost starting 300 euro, and we're going down in the future. And we're offering very high security at a very low price with lots of practicality in between and lots of added value. So the integrator is not going to make a lot of money from us. But that's just going to be added value for them, I guess, selling some new solution, making marketing for themselves. That's what so far I've gotten as feedback from them. They want it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's it, actually. This
with
was
the pitches.
the last startup. So now I would like to invite you for a complimentary snack outside the doors.
During the jury's discussion, which you can actually check out later on the social media of Networking Premium, thanks to Omai.TV, who are going to shoot it for you.
I really apologize for earlier. You can follow us not only on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well. Sorry.
And on Facebook.
Yeah, sometimes.
So we start
Viola, thank you for keeping the beer safe.
20 minutes, guys.
See you in 20 minutes.
Кой най-много ще спечели, защото му дават...
Бенефитно.
Ще бенефитно от
Да, това е наградата също.
Значи наградата е пакет от 10 000 лева, които могат да се използват в Coworking Space или като място за работа, или като общи зали. Отделно той някакъв менторинг и тюторинг им предоставя, но могат да бъдат 2 или 3 компании, до 10 000 може да се разпредели.
До 10 трябва да разделим. Не,
общо максимум.
Да, целият награден.
Да, целият награден.
Разбием на 3 компании.
Може на 3, може на 2, може на 1.
А може и да не е целият награден фонд.
Те са Payzzter. Не знам как се чете.
Payzzter. Те са сервиси с компания с 50 човека.
Те имат 50 човека, имат офис, те имат да...
Няма много нужда.
в Германия.
Те инкорпорирани са в България или... Къде има централата? Централата май има в Швейцария. Но са и със сервиси с компания, не е стартъп.
Coliving Семково.
И аз тези не виждам как ще
Аз не мисля, че има какво да правят.
Това е много различно от
Те са компетитър всъщност.
Да, евентуално да.
Трябва, ако си развият бизнеса, го правят Семково, да си ползват собствения продукт.
Иначе останалите три, това са Cyrcle,
След това
Iris,
остава
Да.
Cyrcle, които са Bicycle Shares, Umni, което е чатбот AI,
Chatbot, да.
и Iris, което е identification.
Умни най-вероятно ще могат да бенефитнат от услугите на
Арис
Space,
имат
а?
офис, by the way.
Да. А Умни с какво ще бенефитта? Нямат ли си офис вече?
Те могат ивенти да правят, пък те имат за хотели ивенти. Но са от те по-лесно ще бенефитнат. Ако трябва да обсъдим кои биха бенефитнали.
Да.
Ами,
те са едни от-
честно казано се колебая между Умни и между Cyrcle. Цяло, защото той е пич...
И аз смятам, че те най-много ще
Според мен има нужда
бенефитнат.
от менторинг.
Да.
Какво да казва, как да го казва,
By the way,
какво да се концентрира и така
също
нататък.
Center има такива working spaces, coworking spaces.
Кой това?
Zone.
Не, и Iris.
Iris, да. Той оперира, не знам дали той ще успее да бенефитне from coworking.
Ами аз мисля, че сме down to two.
Аз мисля, че Cyrcle. За мен Cyrcle просто са много любими. Готини са, с готина цел, могат да се ползват с събитията.
Тук най-малкото клиенти ще се намерят, ако не е друго.
И Умни също могат да ползват.
А според вас, може ли да цепнем на две и да...
Можем.
Е готино да има победител.
На две може да се цепне.
Защото е състезание да има.
Да не са равни,
Да, може да не е по-равно. Да.
Може да е 6 към 6.
А иначе, ако
Може да е по-малко, може да не е цялото. Също може да не е цялото.
Може да е 5 към 3 или 4 към 3.
Да, може да е различно. Cyrcle, значи, според мен ще се нуждаят от,
Да.
ще се нуждаят от това да се развиват те първа.
Да.
Имат път и е много полезно. В смисъл, в този град това е...
И аз съм за Cyrcle.
Да си плащат зимата, както той каза, който не ме кейс. В нашия кейс, ама това ни е града.
Може да вотвам, аз съм за Cyrcle за първо.
Да.
Това не ми хареса само в техния модел.
Кое?
Cyrcle.
Той каза, защото някой не знам кой пита.
15
Примерно 12 от 20 въпроса на Камен е бил какъв е прайсинга и той каза, прайсинга не е такъв, че не избива и оф-сизън времето през зимата.
Според мен те в момента това всичко все още
Но да, така.
Също го нагажат, те са много.
Work in progress като цяло.
Това не е твърде иновативна компания, нали? Но...
Ако искате, т.е. да изберем някой, който е между чатбота и Cyrcle.
Да,
като
двете са.
победител.
Да, абсолютно. Аз бих заложил на Cyrcle.
И аз на
Според
Cyrcle.
мен е даден да лота, защото има много конкуренция. Използват чужда технология, пакетират в чатбот, което много други компании правят и нямат много компетитивни.
Аз съм много конфидент, че Microsoft и Google всъщност им помагат, спредвайки awareness по цялото нещо.
Те няма как да не го спиннат по този начин. Ако някой ги пита такъв въпрос, много ясно, че ще го спиннеш, че всъщност не е полза. Докато тя според мен отговаряше много добре, очевидно. Доста е доста обидна.
Тя е супер добре подготвена. Да, те бяха в дръзките, тя участвала в такова. Ако се спомняш.
Да, помня.
Те бяха в дръзките като цяло, тя е много...
5-3, 5 за Cyrcle, Cyrcle
Cyrcle и 3 за тези.
и за Umni.
10?
Да, но...
И 2 за Iris, ти казах, да поощрим. Да си сложат на сайта, че са спечелили.
Да получат чек в снимката.
Ти нали не забравяш, че се записва това нещо?
В постпродъкшн тези неща ще ги оправим.
Мога да го повторя.
Може да бърнем логото, обаче да бърнем логото.
Да, трябва да се види. Тук ми направиха забележка, че не е Vesta, май са Innovation.
5-3 плюс 2 са 10.
Да, 5 плюс 2 са 10.
Както и да го смяташ, между другото, наистина си за 10.
Дайте най-малко да сметаме.
Добре.
Съм сигурен.
Иначе е добре да се каже, че ако трябва да гледаме от VC перспектив, нали, the most investable businesses, нали, може би бихме ранквали по друг начин, но Angle е...
Да, Angle е друг.
Но it's worth saying за аудиторията и за...
Малко ще им разваляме експириенса, да си изкефят, да си кажат, окей, състезанието е
Не, той винаги го казва. Емил винаги казва, че той ги дава по начин, по който смята, че най-много може да помогне на тия компании.
Но да не го казваме, че не съм.
Добре, съм VC експерт.
Не, че не съм, но сега първата компания е много по-адванс, нали? От всички. Тя е the obvious, the most successful company от тези 5.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If Omai.TV is ready to start, so we are ready to start.
Yes, and also now is the time for one of the greatest awards, the award of the audience. So let's see first which is the startup who actually got your attention and you voted for them and you liked their pitch on, everything about their pitch. So can we see the winner?
So the winner is
Iris Biometrics, please welcome on stage.
So congratulations that you won the winner of the audience, the shyest audience of the Pitch2Pitch ever.
Yeah, but they can count, so.
Yeah, they can count.
Please stay with us on the stage and congratulations once more. And now let's see the draw of the winner from the audience who will win the great award. Can we see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
the winner from you guys.
Don't go out of the link because otherwise there will be only
Yes,
very few
stay in the link.
competitors.
Yeah! It's a secret! Calm down. Taka. So the winner is Christina Dimitrova!
Who is she? Congratulations.
Big applause.
Yes, you can actually contact Networking Premium's team and they will tell you how to get your award.
Yeah,
There they are.
the fancy, colorful girl.
Okay. Now, as usually, before we hear the judgment of the jury and the big winners from the jury, we have our supporters and partners and sponsors who will give their special awards to a startup of their choosing, Scaleup, this evening. So let me invite on stage first Mila Petrova, an angel investor and a startup consultant.
Big applause to Mila Petrova.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Networking Premium, for the opportunity to be again on this stage and for the nice surprise of today's presentations of Scaleups. You have made it so interesting once again. And I'm standing here, my name is Mila Petrova, in the name of Team Up. And what we are doing is enabling startups and their teams to achieve their dreams by consultancy solutions. And what I'm standing here to present is one of the awards which we're giving on a monthly basis from this stage to one of the companies which is presenting. And today our choice goes to Payzzter.
Big applause to Payzzter. You can join the stage to receive your award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And here is the...
Okay, the next one is Alexander Vodimirov, former VC and now fundraising consultant.
Thank you. So the prize, I'm also giving the same prize as Mila, a free consultation award, and it's going to Payzzter. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And the next one is Elena Peneva, Mojo Master at Bright Mojo.
Yeah, that's me. As I said last time, my company is turning 1, so we are having a long birthday. So I'm giving also a strategic branding consultation to the startup that I think, or scale-up, that I think will benefit mostly from it. And I think that that tonight this is Iris Biometrics actually. So congratulations.
Yeah, you can go out from the TV. Yeah, join us here on the stage. Thank you. Okay, so now I think it's time to review the big winners for tonight. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 5, I don't know. And please welcome on the stage Giuseppe from Networking Premium Coworking Spaces.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I want to spend a couple of minutes to thank the audience for being here, supporting us 3 years ago when we were brainstorming on how we can contribute to the startup ecosystem, and we came up with this initiative. Little did we know that it will grow to this point. It's been a journey. Thank you for being here. We thank the judges for being so punctual, so on point with the questions. We want to thank our amazing guests, Elena and Nasco, for being great guest hosts, and guests as well. I want to thank also a couple of our friends, which are Andy and Aya Academy. Is a non-profit initiative. You will find their books at the door. You can buy, and it goes to charity to support deaf communities. Applause for them. We also want to thank our friend Kaloyan Kirillov for donating these books, Startup v Bulgaria. And they collected stories of failures and successes, which we can all learn from. Some of the startups that pitched tonight are also included in this book. And last but not least, I would like to thank our team, the Networking Premium team, who made this possible, and our founder, Emil Shekerdzijski, which tonight is not here, but is extending you his greetings. So let's go for the awards. I would like to call on the stage my colleague Lubo Georgiev with the awards. As usual, it wasn't very easy to decide which startups will get the award tonight. All of them have pitched great ideas, and we're sure that all of them will achieve the success they deserve. We want to remind you about what is the criteria we used and our judges used to decide who's the winner, which is basically not a judgment on the quality of the startups that has been on stage, but essentially we decided to give our awards to the startups which can benefit more and the ones we can support with our contribution. So without further ado, Lubo, let's go for the awards with the second startup, which is Umni. Elisa Stoilova on stage. We are especially happy and glad to have her. She's been with us since the beginning of this initiative, pitching the seeds when it was just an idea and now scaling up, so we super happy to give you this recognition.
Thank you, I'm happy to be. Thank you very much, I'm happy to be again here. Yes, I'm with Pitch2Pitch from the beginning, winning one of the competitions, and I'm happy to be on the stage again here. Thank you.
Congratulations on your award again. Congratulations. And the first award goes to Johnny Depp. No. Cyrcle. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'd like to call on the stage all the participants, all the startuppers who had the bravery to come here and pitch their ideas, please. And the Networking Premium team. We also include in our, yes, here is Setsi.
While we are
And Pancho.
closing, let me remind you to follow Networking Premium on all social media. Also, this episode will be online thanks to Omai.TV. Thank you very much. Thank you for the sponsors, the partners, and everybody here. And what else should we say? Next one, the next Pitch to Pitch, is going to be on the 11th of March. So join us again.